and welcome to this week's episode of Hawk Talk. I'm your host, Hillary Moberg, and today we've got two special guests on. So please introduce yourselves and what you do at DSU.
I'm Jake Daniel. I'm a freshman on the basketball team at DSU, but I am in my second year of school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm John Evans. I'm a sophomore on the basketball team here at DSU, but it is my third year on the basketball team.
Yeah, sounds good. So tell us a little bit about your journeys to being on the team at DSU.
So I grew up in Dickinson and kind of been around the school my whole life. My dad teaches at DSU currently and used to be the AD and coach basketball. But kind of getting to DSU, it was always comfortable for me. It was always kind of where I wanted to be, and having the opportunity to play basketball on top of it was just my dream. So when it finally came time to making my choice and talking with Coach Selvig, it was really just kind of an instant, like, knew exactly that's where I wanted to be, and it all worked out pretty well.
Oh, very cool. What for you?
I was actually recruited by Coach Vaughn. So I came on a visit here when he was the coach, had an awesome experience, felt like he really wanted me on the team. So I committed here, and then Coach Selvig came in and had a great experience here ever since.
Yeah, very good. Well, we're happy to have you both on the team and glad you've stuck around for a few years. So now that the basketball season is over for the spring, can you reflect on that season? Tell us a little bit about how it went.
Yeah, it was up and down, like most years usually are, but yeah, beginning of the year is always tough. We play a pretty tough non-conference schedule, but it really does a good job preparing us for our conference season and the rest of the year, and I think that really came to fruition this year. Made it to the conference championship and just fell short, but yeah, I think we ended the season on a lot of highs. We really, from the beginning of the season till now, progressed a lot. Individuals got a lot better, but most importantly, as a team, we took big steps, and it's really going to catapult us going into next year, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, we had our ups and downs, but I'd say it was a pretty successful season. It's the best season that since I've been here that DSU has had, and as far as I know, it's been the best season for DSU in quite a few years. So there's a lot of positives. We probably weren't expected to make the conference championship, and we did that, and although it didn't end how we wanted it to, I'm really proud of our team and everything that we've accomplished. So I'm excited for the off season to see who we bring in, see all the guys grow individually and grow together, and hopefully have an even better year next year.
Yeah. So both the men's and women's teams were able to host home playoff games based on rankings for this season. What was that experience like on your end?
It was huge. I mean, I know last year the women had a home playoff game and we were playing in Valley, and I remember pulling up the stream and looking at the student section and how many people were there, and I was like, wow, like we really need to get there. And we were fortunate enough to be able to do that this year, and so were the women. So having a doubleheader for the first round of playoffs is just a great thing for not only the teams but for the school, the campus community, the students. Brings people in, gets people excited about our students on campus, and it really shows the support that we have, not only as a basketball team but the school as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was awesome to have that atmosphere, have a great fan outing to the game. It was fun, and to get a win, both men and women, was even better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was great to be in the crowd watching that. Last year I missed out on the home playoffs game, so it was exciting to see it and be a fan, be a good spectator. So then both teams won the playoff games, as you mentioned, and you ended up traveling to Watertown, South Dakota, and you faced off against Waldorf. So tell us a little bit about how that went for you.
First round was great. Didn't start so good first half. We came out a little bit slow, and we weren't really on our game to start, but I think something about this team is just the way that we've kind of battled all year. Even in games that have been close and have been tough, we've always kind of stuck around and that game we found something in the second half, and we're able to come out, and I mean that's kind of what postseason is about. And you just got to do what you got to do to get it done. It doesn't have to be pretty all the time, because it's win or go home. And yeah, we were able to take care of business, pull through in the second half, and turned out to get us where we wanted to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was too close for comfort, that's for sure. Probably closer than we wanted it to be, but like Jake said, that's playoffs. It's all it's about is surviving and advancing to the next round. Doesn't really matter how you do it as long as you win. So it was good to get that first win in Watertown.
Yeah. And that was it was exciting to be watching them. I watched the Mayville one on my way back. I was in the car, so I had to listen to it mostly. But even with that game too, you know, it was a tough competitor, and you'd faced them twice before, won one, lost one, so you know it could have gone either way. But I thought it was really impressive the way that everybody battled and used kind of some of that momentum at least to have a good performance. So congratulations on a really great season, you guys.
Thank you.
So both of you were also on the team last year, as you've mentioned. So how was it getting to make it past that playoff game and then even making it into the conference championship game?
It was just a huge step for our program, I think. Since Coach Selvig has been here, we haven't won a playoff game, and to win 2 and make it to the championship is a really big step for us as a team, and it kind of proves to ourselves that we're capable and we can do it, and it starts to cement our kind of position in the conference, that we're going to start to be a force and be a team that people have to watch out for years to come. And especially having a young group that we do, getting that experience for next year is really going to be positive. I think lack of seniors is actually going to turn out to be a good thing, because we got to somewhere we haven't been in a couple of years, in many years, and coming into the next year's season from the start, we're going to have experience that we lacked at the beginning of this year, and as it gets down to postseason time, that's really going to come in handy, be beneficial for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully this year was an icebreaker year for us, because the past 2 seasons it was hard to get sent home first round, and it kind of drains you, not knowing if you'll ever get over that hump. But to do it and with a young group is really awesome, just because we got at least 2 years left with each other. So hopefully we can see more success down the road.
Yeah. So you both kind of brought up it's a young group. Obviously no seniors on the team this year. So would you say that that's impacted you in any way, like feeling a loss of not having seniors in the position, or was it kind of motivating to have younger players step up and fill those leadership roles?
It's definitely different not having seniors, but I think the leadership that we have on the team is great. Like, Johnny's been around for 3 years and is a great leader for us as a team, and a lot of the guys that we brought in took on leadership roles, and guys really stepped up when they had to. And at the beginning of the year, it was kind of up in the air, like no one was set in stone as who's gonna lead our team, but guys really stepped up, and as we got throughout the year, you always knew we were going to have guys we could count on, guys who were going to be setting examples, filling into their roles. And I think everybody filled their role towards the end of the year. Everybody understood what was expected of them, and that was just kind of like the leadership that everybody brought to the table, was buying into your role and doing what we had to do as individuals to help the team win.
Yeah, I think more than anything it was really motivating not having any seniors and only 3 juniors, so the majority of the team is just freshmen and sophomores. So I think a lot of people viewed it as, this is a rebuilding year and we're not supposed to do much this year. So that was really motivating for us, to play with a chip on our shoulder, try to prove people wrong. And I think it was just a really good learning year for us. For me especially, learning how to be a leader. I'm not the most vocal guy in the locker room, but I do try to do things the right way, lead by example. And so, we're excited for the future here.
Yeah, it'll be good to see what will happen. So moving away from a little bit more of that more serious talk, do either of you have any personal superstitions or rituals you have to do before a game, or anything your team does?
Personally not. I don't really have anything crazy. I mean, I have to make my last shot of warm-ups before I go to the bench, but that's kind of a staple for everybody. Yeah, nothing really out there for me.
Yeah.
I try to avoid those kind of rituals just in case, I don't do it. I don't think like I'm screwed or whatever, but
Yeah.
I like to have a nap and then shower right before I head to the gym though.
Okay. Very
So
good.
whether it's in a hotel or at home for home game, that's what I like to do.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear like how those sorts of things vary from team to team, because like in the softball end, you'll hear a lot of random superstitions like a pair of socks you got to wear, that sort of thing. So kind of interesting. Yours are maybe a little bit more relaxed, not as high pressure, right? Just more routines than anything. So how about for bus rides? When the coaches were on a couple weeks ago, or maybe a couple months ago, they were mentioning kind of their experience on the bus, and Coach Nelson said that there was a lot of TikTok making happening on the women's bus. Is it a similar experience for you guys, or you each just kind of pick a corner, put your headphones in?
We do a little bit of gambling on the bus here and there, but mostly just on our phones, playing blackjack or poker on our phones. So, yeah, I mean, other than that, it's kind of just chatting, nothing crazy. We don't make TikToks with the girls, but
Yeah, just games with each other, maybe a little bit. No TikToks.
You might have to change that for next year.
Yeah, or just sleeping, putting the headphones in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned it's your second year on the team. You're a freshman in your athletic career-wise, right? And then for you, you're in your third year, but a sophomore. So would you say that a lot has changed from season to season in the years that you've been here?
I mean, yeah, like you said, like last year was my redshirt year, so this was my first year fully playing with the team in games and stuff. But mainly from this year to last year was just a lot of guys. We lost a lot of seniors last year, and brought in two new coaches, two new assistant coaches, a lot of new faces. But other than that, I mean, I think with the change of group we've had a change of mentality, which has been a good thing. Something Coach Selvig really harps on and preaches is hanging our hat on defense, and I think the group of guys that we have this year really bought into that, and we really understand that to win games we're going to do it guarding guys, and we found some success in our conference doing that. So
Yeah, like Jake mentioned, just new faces, which every college program will go through that. Bringing in new guys year after year, and yeah, this year we bought into the defensive end, felt like we didn't have very many weaknesses on that end, and so when we're all on the same page together on the defensive end, that's where we find success.
Yeah, it's good to see, and it'll be good to have you guys around for the next couple years too, to keep making those changes and see more progress, which would be cool. So moving into some more of the fun questions, if you had to pick a sport other than basketball, either to play or to watch, what would you pick?
To play, I'd probably run track, because that'd about be the only thing I could do in college. But I like watching football, and I like playing golf, and play slow pitch softball too in the summers. So
Very good. What for you?
I'd be a golfer if I could choose. I'm not good enough, but it just seems, I love the golf, and seems like professional golfers have a good life if you're at the top.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
There you go.
So.
How about for watching?
Football.
Football? Good choices. So another fun question for you. If you could have an all expenses paid trip anywhere in the world, where would you go and why?
I would probably go to a Final Four, just because I've been one time, and it was one of the most fun experiences I've had, and haven't been able to go back. But if I could go to a lot of those in the coming years, and someone would pay for it, I would not hesitate.
Yeah, wouldn't complain, right?
I go to the Caribbean just because I like the beach. The water's warm down there too, so that's where I'm heading.
So you're looking for more relaxing, and you're looking for something to keep you on your toes, right?
Yeah, something busy.
There you go. So last question I'll ask, it's our favorite one to ask everyone who comes on Hawk Talk. It's, what does DSU mean to you?
DSU has just kind of been home for me always, ever since I've been growing up. I have two sisters who graduated from here. My mom and my dad both graduated, and like I said, my dad's been around, and because of that, I've been around. So everybody's familiar. Everybody feels like family. I mean, just growing up here, and there's still people from when I was little who are still around, and it's just always been comforting, and everybody treats you like your family, and that's just the support that really is what kind of makes DSU so special, and why it's so special to me.
Right now, DSU is the world to me, just because I'm from Canada. I always wanted to get out of Canada. I wanted to play college basketball in the United States, and so I'm just thankful that DSU gave me a chance, and so I'm just trying to not take anything for granted, and I'm thankful for the community here. Like Jake mentioned, there's just a lot of support for the athletes here, and it's my family away, or my home away from home.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's really good to hear. So there aren't going to be any more games for this basketball season, but you can check out both Johnny and Jake next season for the 2023 to 2024 year. And they'll be kicking that off sometime in the fall, so be sure to watch for them there. Thank you both for coming on again, and stay tuned for our on-campus interview right after this.
All right.
I'm Abby here with Coach Wittkopp, so we're going to first recap from the conference meet this past weekend.
All right, what would you like to know first?
Records broken and kids who kind of qualified for nationals.
All right. Well, the men finished second in the conference. The 200-meter record actually was broken by Martin Farberg for the conference. He ran 21.72, that's the fastest raw time that he's ever run. And Galen Brantley, also on the men's side, qualified for nationals as well. We had some other performers that performed real well. Quentin Lewis actually won the 60-meter dash and ran 6.95, which is the first time he'd run under 7 seconds in the 60-meter dash, which was good. He was 400ths of a second from qualifying in the 60-meter dash, which was painful for him being a freshman, missing out by just a little bit. And then in the 200, he ran 21.92, which is 200ths of a second away from qualifying for nationals, but was ultimately good for second place. So he had a fantastic meet for us as well. On the women's side, we ended up winning. We broke the record for most points. I think it was 293 or something like that. But we scored a lot of points. The women really had about as good a day as they possibly could have. To pick, we swept all the awards. Track athlete of the meet, Rinzi, ended up winning the 60-meter dash. Ran a national qualifying time, ran the 60 hurdles, ran a national qualifying time, broke the school record, broke the conference record. She ran 8:61, which is amazing. Last year her PR was 9:10, and this year she ran 8:61. That's a half a second difference in a year. So she's in the top 10 in the nation right now, just smoking the track right now. She is just running phenomenal. She won the 200 as well, and she was less than 300ths away from breaking that conference record. So she really did just obliterate everything on the track. She also ran on the 4x4 relay as well. I told her she did not have to. She had done enough, but she wanted to run. She scored 32.5 points on the track, which is good enough that's the most anybody had scored. Ran 3 national qualifying performances that day. So she had an absolutely phenomenal. She's had a great year all year, but she had a phenomenal meet, which was awesome. Her parents were there to watch, so it was really kind of a special day for her. Caitlin McCauley was the field athlete of the meet. She won the long jump, the triple jump. She scored in the high jump as well, but she won the pentathlon, and then she got second in the hurdles, ran a national qualifying time in the hurdles as well. She had the conference record, and she ran faster than she did last year, but she just didn't run as fast as Rinsey. So she had a phenomenal race as well. She's also ranked in the nation in the 60 hurdles. She broke the conference record in the pentathlon. She's number 2, the pentathlon. She's number 2 in the nation in the pentathlon. So she's having a phenomenal year as well. She scored 41 points, which is, there are a few teams that don't score 41 points. So she is amazing. And then we had Corey Nagel, who was co-MVP. So Rinsey and Corey actually were co-MVP. So that means 3 of the coaches voted for Rinsey and 3 of the coaches voted for Corey. And I thought it was important that Corey was recognized. I feel like sometimes the throwers get a little bit forgotten about because all of the head coaches are watching a lot what's going on the track, but I knew that Corey was doing special stuff, and she broke the conference record in the shot put. She threw 48 feet 11 inches, I think, is what she threw.
Cow.
So she just, that is an amazing throw. Right now, I think she's got 8 of the top 20 individual throws in the nation. She's number 2 in the nation right now. Phenomenal athlete. She broke the school record in the weight throw as well and won that. So she scored 20 points there. And yeah, I think she's 12th or 11th in the nation in the weight throw. So she's next level as well. She just doesn't have as many events to do, but outdoor, she's a good discus thrower, so she'll have 3 events to do in the outdoor. So it's exciting to see kind of what she could do. And as great as those 3 did, I think it's important to acknowledge Grace Tim won 2 events, scored 20 points. Elizabeth Widmer scored 22.5 points. She won the 600 and the 800, and she ran on the relay as well. So we had some really heavy hitters, but we also had, kids score up and down. Alexis Miller ended up scoring in the top 3 in all conference. Claire Kreitz was all conference as well. Kat Baranko won the high jump. There was a 4-way tie for second place, which was kind of weird. In the high jump, everybody had the same scores, but Kat won. I was super excited for her. She scored in the long jump, scored in the high jump, scored in the hurdles, which was awesome to kind of see, the Richardson Taylor Raider come on. So we had a lot of kids that performed really, really well. 4x8 women broke the conference record. The team broke the scoring record. The shot put record was broken. The the 60 hurdle record was broken, and the pentathlon record was broken. And we had a couple that were just that close. So, Rinsey was close in the 60 dash and in the 200. So, the 4x4 was less than a second away from breaking that record. We had some really awesome performances on the women's side. So, but if you almost score 300 points,
yeah,
that's we won. Events that we won: the 60 hurdles, the 60 dash, the 200. Got second in the 400. 600, 800 mile, 3K. Didn't win the 5K. So we didn't win the 400 and the 5K. That was it. We won all the other track events, and then we won the shot put, the weight throw, high jump, long jump, triple jump, pole vault, and the pentathlon.
So Hawks had a good day.
Hawks swept the field events for wins, and then they won, all but 2 of the running events. So it really was a fantastic. National qualifiers. You asked me about national qualifiers. Our 2 female pole vaulters are going. Maddie Wall, and who she broke the conference record as well. I should add that. 12-2. That's really good. And then Cassidy Jorgensen also qualified for nationals as well. And then the 4x8 qualified the week before, they're going, and the 4x4 also qualified the week before, they're going. Both of our hurdlers, Caitlin and Rinsey, are going. They're qualified. Like I said, Rinsey's qualified in 2 other events. I think she's going to run the 60 dash. I don't know if she's going to run the 200. Tori Nygaard and Corey Nagel are both going to throw the weight. Corey's going to throw the shot put as well. Caitlin's going to do the pentathlon. On the 4x8, we've got a whole bunch of kids that are going to be going, but Grace, Tim, Lizzie, Widmer, Natalie Lyle is a freshman. She's getting to go there too. I think we're going to give Jewel Olson a go. She ran the 4x8 this last weekend and ran well, so she's probably going to run. We're going to take Alexis as an alternate, and then on the 4x4, we got Kylie Barnett back. She's going to run on the 4x4. I think Claire Kreit's going to run on the 4x4 as well. One more. Lizzie will run, and I'm trying to remember who the other one is we got on the list for. We've got 13 girls going, so 14 girls going. So we've got a ton of female athletes going. This is the biggest showing we've had. Last year we took 3 men and 2 women, and this year we're going to take 13 women, which is phenomenal for that squad. So, yeah, that's the recap.
How does the prep look like for nationals?
Well, the prep is kind of a short turnaround here, so we're at a Sunday meet, which is kind of odd. So we spent the last couple of days trying to kind of get healthy and rest and kind of recover. And then Wednesday we pushed hard, and then today we're going to do some technical work in the gym just to kind of sharpen things up. And then we've got to do some tech work tomorrow as well. And then we come back Monday, and then we're leaving. So it's kind of a short week, but it's we're trying to get as much rest as we possibly can, and just trying to kind of keep things sharp. We've worked so hard all year long that getting fit and all that stuff's over with. It's just trying to be as healthy as we possibly can, and just trying to be as sharp as we possibly can.
So after nationals, I feel like it's kind of a short turnaround with our North Dakota weather to get outside and get running for the outdoor season. So how does that transition kind of look?
So for me, there's a couple things that I'm always looking for as a coach. First thing is, can we get healthy? The second thing is, can we get caught up on our homework? So those are the first 2 things we got to take care of, right? And then after that, we are kind of waiting on Mother Nature out here to kind of give us a little bit of break in all this snow. But we're going to be with Coach Murphy in the weight room, kind of getting back to basics, doing some strength training, making that a priority. And then we'll get back, to doing some speed, and then we're going to get into a good conditioning rhythm going right into spring break. And then, because after spring break, it's quick again. If we've got good weather, it's going to come fast. And then, we'll be working through the first couple of weeks outdoor season. And then hopefully when we get Mays here, it seems like it goes so fast. And, the kids, it seems like such a long grind, but it's really 2 sprints in a row. So we're just trying to catch our breath here between these seasons and get healthy as we can and get as strong as we can, and then we'll kind of work on the fitness and stuff, going into, the spring a little bit closer.
So this year, conference is here at DSU. Yeah. So how kind of special is that, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of it?
We've got a beautiful track, so that is an awesome situation for us. It's always nice to, go to some place you've never been and things like that, but home cooking is nice, and we've got a great track here. So and it's fast. Last time we ran here in 2019, 4 or 5 records got broke, conference records. So it is a great place to compete, and it's always awesome for kids to get in front of their family and their friends. So I feel like it is a great opportunity for you guys as student body, and other student athletes to get a chance to come over and watch. And it's a a track meet is really fun, especially when you got good weather. You know what I mean? You got sunshine, everybody's getting a suntan, and it's a pretty awesome day to be out there. And it's good. It's going to be one of the last days of finals week, so it's when things are starting to slow down for the student body, so they can.
Thank you for that on-campus interview. Now let's get into the recap. For basketball, men's and women's basketball both hosted home playoff games on Tuesday, February 22nd. The men's team played Dacotah State and won 72-60, and the women's team played Valley City and won 68-50. this sent both of those teams to the semifinals, where women's basketball played Dacotah State and lost, unfortunately, in that first game, 82-37. The men's team played Waldorf in the first day of semifinals and won 79-74, which sent them into the championship game, and they faced Mayville there and unfortunately lost 80-63. But both teams had a really great season, so congrats to them. And we just had John Evans and Jake Daniel on to discuss more about that season as well. For baseball, they kicked off their spring preseason with games in Parkville, Missouri. They lost their first game against Graceland 3-2, but won the other 3 games in their series. They beat Missouri Valley 15-3, Midland 5-4, and Graceland 14-3. And then Ballas Buckmaster was named the first North Star Athletic Association Player of the Week for baseball. So congrats all around to the baseball team. For softball, they kicked off their spring preseason with 6 games in the Dome in Aberdeen, South Dakota. They lost 7-2 and 5-2 to Jamestown, but won 10-6 and 10-3 against College of St. Mary, and won 4-2 and 9-1 against Doane. So congrats to the softball team. For indoor track and field, at the conference championships on February 19th, the men's team placed second of 7 teams, and the women's team won their 5th straight conference championship out of the 7 teams there. So congrats, keep on setting records. Many individuals received individual titles and awards, and you can check all of those out on the DSU Blue Hawks athletics page to see the release talking about what awards they won and which events we placed really well in. So the nationals will be coming up for both teams March 2nd through 4th, so be sure to check out those updates and cheer on the Blue Hawks. Thank you to all of our sponsors and viewers for keeping the show going. We couldn't be here without you. Be sure to check out our social media accounts. We've got an Instagram at DSU Foundation and a Twitter at DSU Heritage, and of course a Facebook, DSU Heritage Foundation. But until next time, Hawks are up.